Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to my yoga time. Today I have another short yoga snack for you, which is ideal when you're short on time. We're going to release tension in the hips, the back, the shoulders and the hamstrings, and also a little bit of strengthening work there as well. I've got one block for this practice, and when you're ready, we'll begin on your back. So once on your back, with those knees bent, allow the right knee to fall out to the side, as though that leg's coming into butterfly position, and then wiggle the foot over to the left so that it's in between the left buttock and heel. Now, if your hip or knee needs support, you can always use your block underneath. If you can reach your right foot, you can hold onto those toes with your left hand. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you can lift the left foot up off the mat and hold onto that knee, either with both hands or just the right hand. So a few breaths here, taking a moment to arrive in the moment, in your practice. Gently start to deepen the breath into the lower body. Let the breath moving the body be your point of focus for this practice. Find that sweet little pause before you exhale. Let's take one more inhalation. And as you exhale, release the left foot down to the mat if you have it. Let's lift up the right knee. Take a hamstring stretch. Hands are around the middle of the thigh. Gently press the leg into the hands, pull the hands onto the leg. A little arch through the lower back. And we'll inhale to point the toes, exhale to flex the foot. And let's bend the right knee now. Take the ankle to the knee, left knee. Keep this shape in the legs. Left hand can press into the right knee and bring the legs over to your left. So sole of the right foot is flat on the floor. If you can't reach the floor, you can always use your block underneath. So we're gently pressing the leg away, getting into the outer hip and that IT bend. If you'd like a little more sensation, lift the right arm up or hinge the upper body over to the left so there's a little side bend. Now we're only here for a couple of breaths. Be sure to breathe into the right side waist. And coming back to center now. Let's practice that sequence on the other side. Left knee out to the side, it's in butterfly. Wiggle the foot across. Take a hold of those toes if you can. An option to lift the right knee as well. Breathing into whichever part of the body has caught your awareness. Where your attention goes, energy will flow. And let's release that leg, taking the hamstring stretch now on your left leg. Feel free to move the foot with the breath. And when you're ready, bend the knee, take the ankle to the knee, right hand pressing into the left knee, come all the way over. Option to stay there or hinge the upper body over to the right just a little. And let's come back to center. Both feet to the floor now, keep the knees bent. Take a hold of your block. We'll place that block in between your thighs. Coming up into your bridge pose, so press down and away through the feet, broaden the collarbones, and let's lift up through those hips. So the thighs will firm in on the block, but see if you can press the heels out a little. So thighs in, heels out, almost as though you're trying to pigeon toe those feet. Lift the hips up nice and high. Move the sternum towards the chin. Inhale, lift up the heels. Exhale to lower down. Then lifting up the feet, keep the thighs firming in on the block. Imprint your lower back into the mat. And if you can, lift the upper body off the floor, reaching those fingers forward. So keep squeezing in on the block. Keep the knees above the hips. And keep the jaw relaxed. So here is option one. There might be a few yogis that would like to take a little rock and lift up into their boat pose. And let's lower those feet down. If you're on your back, make your way up to seated. From your seated position, straighten your legs. And then we'll take the left ankle just above the right knee, coming into a seated pigeon pose. So lean back on the hands and bend your right foot. So if you've limited range of motion through your hips or any concerns with your knees, keep a little bit of space between the heel and the buttock. Otherwise, come in as close as you comfortably can. Find a little back bend here as you lift the heart. Little flexion through that left foot. And if you have the urge to take a little rock from side to side, do so. Begin to warm the body with your breath combined with the slow movement. So if your heel is quite close to the bottom, just move it away a little. We're going to lift up those hips as long as your wrists, elbows and shoulders permit. Lifting those hips up nice and high, broadening the collarbones. And exhale to lower down. Straightening that right leg now and bringing the sole of your left foot to the floor. From here, we'll prepare for a twist. So create a little bit of resistance between the outer foot and the leg. Flexing the right foot, hold onto your right knee, take the left hand behind you, or maybe you can hook the elbow, taking a mudra, or wrapping the arm around the thigh. Your left palm wants to press down and slide away. Your next exhalation, return to the front. You have the option to take a hold of the ball of the foot, press the foot into the hand and equally pull the hands back onto the foot. Lift the heart. And lower down. Well done, yogis. We'll move to the other side now. Seated pigeon, right side. Invite that little movement if it feels good. And once again, if your heel's quite close to the bottom, just wiggle it away. Get ready, press down through the pads of the fingers, lift up the bottom. And lower down, straightening that right leg. Preparing for your twist, grounding the right foot down, holding onto the knee, hooking the elbow or the arm. And let's return to the front. Option to take a hold of that foot for that little hamstring stretch. And lower down. And so from here, yogis, we'll come over onto all fours into your tabletop position. And then take your right leg out to the side. If you can, have those toes pointing straight ahead. And a little engagement here through the quad. See if you can engage and draw up the kneecap. Hands under shoulders. Just moving through your cat-cow stretches. Inhale to arch the back. Exhale to round the spine. Well done. Come back to that neutral spine and walk your hands over to your left. So you can use the block underneath the hand here if you need to. Left hand, left knee, right foot, all in one straight line. Reaching overhead with that right arm. Feel free to stay as you are, or you can invite a little movement with the breath. Inhaling. And as you exhale, lower down, sweep the right arm in front of the body towards those toes, and then inhale to come up. Send the hips forward. Exhale to lower. And holding it here. Option one is as you are, a little stronger. If you float right fingertips up towards the ceiling and lift up the right leg. Make sure you're flexing the right foot and feel as though you're trying to drag the left hand towards the left knee. Inhale. And exhale, lower that foot down. Take the arm overhead again. One last side bend here, sending those hips forward. And then with your next inhalation, lifting up, right hand to the lower back, left arm up towards the ceiling. There is option one, gently sending the hips forward and pressing down through that left foot. Option two, take the left arm behind you, look for the heel. As you come back into a variation of your camel pose. Hips moving forward. And let's come all the way up. We'll lower those hands back down to the floor. Inhale into your back bend. As you exhale, round the spine. Tuck the left toes under and just lift up the left knee. Hover about an inch or two off the floor. And then relax, lower that knee back down, uncurl those toes. We'll take a twist, threading the needle. Left arm underneath the right. Point the right elbow up towards the ceiling. Firm the left arm down onto the mat. And we'll inhale to come back up. Bring the right leg in. Let's change sides, left leg out. And moving through your cat-cow stretches here. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale to round. And then find your neutral spine. Walk your hands over to the right. So you're coming into your gate pose again. Feel free to take your hand up onto the block if you need to. Reaching left arm overhead, inhale. Option to take a flow as you exhale. Take a seat, sweep the arm in front of the body. Inhale to come up. And holding it up this time. Either stay as you are or for that little bit of strength work, left fingertips reach up to the ceiling, hover the left foot up off the mat. So it's great strengthening work for that outer hip. You can either look down here if the neck is strained, or you can look up towards your thumb. If you are looking up, Slightly tuck the chin and move the neck back just a little. We don't want to let the head hang. Well done. Lower that left foot down. Take your last side bend here, gently sending those hips forward. Creating space in the body with your breath. And let's inhale to come up, left hand to the low back, right fingertips towards the ceiling, or windmill that arm back, look for your heel. And let's come all the way up, lower those hands down. Curl the right toes under, hover the knee off the mat just a little, so you can round the back here and press into the pads of the fingers. And lower down, well done. Let's thread the needle, right arm underneath the left. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Press the right arm down into the mat. And let's come on up. Moving back into your tabletop, bringing that knee in. And then we'll step those feet back into your plank pose. Tucking the tailbone under, bringing the body forward as though you're looking over a cliff. Of course, if you need to, bring those knees down to the mat. As you lower down, make sure the elbows brush the ribs and you don't collapse in the shoulders. When you come down to the mat, have your hands just in front of the shoulders and a little wider. Up high on those fingertips, lift the palm off the mat. Take the feet as wide as the mat and gently tuck the tailbone under. You should feel your pubic bone press into the mat. As you inhale, lift up through the shoulders and exhale to lower down. Tucking in the chin, inhale to come up and then lifting the chin as you exhale and lower down. So it almost feels as though you're making a circular motion through your shoulders. And we'll stay up this time. Look over your left shoulder as you lift your left foot off the mat. And lower down, change sides. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades back onto the spine. And coming all the way down now. Hands next to the body. You might like to interlace the fingers. Lift up for 3 breaths. Inner thighs lifting. Shalabhasana. When you're ready, lower down and flip over onto your back. Once on your back, you can take a hold of the knees. You might like to hug them into the chest. Take a little rock and roll from side to side. And when you're ready, lower left foot to the floor, raise the right leg, right ankle to the knee. Option 1 is as you are. Option 2, take a hold of your left leg for your reclined pigeon. Option 3, if you can, lower your heel a little closer to the hip crease and then straighten your left leg. Take a hold of the calf or maybe the knee. Breathe into the outer hip and the lower back. And then exhale, lower the left foot down if it's lifted. Draw the right knee towards the armpit. Option to straighten and relax the left leg. Either staying here or if you can come into half happy baby pose, stacking the ankle above the knee, do so. Gently press the foot into the hand pulls onto the foot. And final variation, if it's available for you, bring the right leg back to the center, both hands to the foot, straighten the leg as best you can, pushing the foot into the hands pull onto the foot. Lift the head up off the mat, try and take the arms above the head. Inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knee, lower the head down, move into your twist, take the right knee over to the left. 3 breaths into the lower belly and the lower back. And let's come back to center. We'll practice that on the other side. Recline pigeon first. Left ankle to the right knee. Either staying here or taking a hold of the right leg. Maybe straightening the leg if that's available for you. So there's always another variation. There's always somewhere else to go in the pose. And your intention shouldn't be to strive to the next variation, but to be at peace with where you are now. Often with our physical practice, less is best. If we're pushing or straining too hard, we can't breathe properly, and the breath becomes inhibited. When that happens, we're not releasing tension, we're creating it. We're not feeling energized, we're feeling depleted after our practice. Let's lower the right foot down if you had lifted. Take the knee towards the armpit now. Feel free to straighten your right leg. Either stay there or find your half happy baby pose. And if you did so on the other side, bring the leg to the center, both hands to the foot, straightening the leg, lifting the forehead towards the knee. And exhale to lower. Let's twist. And coming back to center for Shavasana. So taking as much space as you can on the mat, shoulders tucking under, feet falling out wide. Softening the forehead and letting the eyes roll back. Taking this time to just notice the sounds outside of the room. And then noticing any sounds inside the room. Without attaching, just notice. And bringing your awareness a little closer again. Can you hear the sound of your breath? Can you feel the meeting points between the back side of the body and the mat? Inhale and pause. And as you exhale, give in to gravity. Be in this spaciousness. Let's inhale a little deeper now as you bring your awareness back. Feel free to swallow if the mouth is dry, or rock the head from side to side. Following any urges to move or stretch. And feel free to roll onto your preferred side whenever you're ready. Thank you for practicing with me today, yogis. I hope that you enjoyed that short yoga snack. So I mentioned at the beginning of the class that where our attention goes, our energy flows. And that's not just on the mat, that's off the mat as well. So I encourage you to be mindful of your thoughts. Focus on what you want to attract into your life, not what you don't want. Once again, thanks for practicing with me, yogis. If you enjoyed the class, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Wishing you a lovely day.